How's it going, guys? And welcome you to Bars of Variety. And we have a huge question coming up in today's video, because the big question in today's video is, can Messi lead Argentina to the Copa America, finally achieving his dream in that Argentina shirt? And is this Argentina squad strong enough to achieve Messi's dreams? And first question, and the first thing coming up is, how will they line up? We're going to be taking a look at their defense, midfield, and attack in full length and in full detail. So let's get started. And if we do take a look at the squad that has been announced by the Argentina coach, and as you can see, it is a very strong squad, and we're going to be breaking it up. And if we do kick things off with the goalkeeper, and of course you've got four goalkeepers. You've got Armani, you've got Martinez, and you've got Musso. And of course you have to choose one goalkeeper to be starting through all tournament long. And we saw how good Martinez was playing when he did play for Argentina in the last game they did play. And then you've also got Armani, who has been playing a lot recently, but he has been dropped by Lionel Scaloni. And this is why I would, and I think you would all go for Martinez. It is a very clear option. He's a very good goalkeeper, and he showed it, and he has proved it several times. But then when we do move on to speak and talk about the defenders that Argentina have, they don't have many options, but they do have a good defense. And of course, you would start in that center back spot. You would start a very talented center back. It is Lisandro Martinez, the Ajax center back, and even Barcelona are interested in him. So he would be a very good starting option for Argentina. And alongside him, you would either go for Otamendi, Pezzella, Romero, and you maybe could play Acuna at that center back spot, even though he doesn't play there. But I would go for Pezzella. He is a leader. He is experienced. I would never ever go for Otamendi. If Lionel Scaloni does decide to go with Otamendi, it will be a huge mistake, and it will ruin everything Argentina is trying to do. And then at that right back spot, you don't have many options. You don't have many options to decide from, so it will be Montiel. And that on that left back spot, you will go for Tagliafico, and of course, you also have Acuna to rotate in that left back spot. But Tagliafico, he is such a good captain, he's such a good leader, and also his defensive abilities and the way he attacks, I think he will be a very good left back for Argentina. And that completes my defensive line for Argentina. When we do move on to speak and talk about the midfielders, the Argentina, they have a little bit of a more options, and they do have a lot of options in that midfield, to be honest. And of course, you would start Paredes. He's of course guaranteed to start, and they do have Lo Celso, Rodriguez, Palacios, Domingos, and of course Di Maria is an option to play in that midfield. And they also have DePaul and Gomez. And Paredes, he will definitely start, as we saw that Linus Scaloni really likes to start him, and he also likes to start Rodrigo De Paul, and I do think it is a very good option for Argentina. And then you've got that last midfielder. Do you go for Lo Celso, Palacios, maybe a bit of a more defensive midfielder, or do you go for more of an attacking midfielder? It is Alejandro Gomez. That is how I would do my midfield, simply because Gomez would free Messi up. Gomez, the way he moves, he plays like Coutinho, and he would free Messi up and give some spaces and some good passes to Lautaro Martinez, and that completes my midfield. And of course, we have to talk about the attackers that Argentina have and that attacking front line in a 4-3-3 formation. That means we can only go for 3 attackers, and it is so exciting in that attack. We have to talk about their attack because it is more than amazing. And of course, the first guy, and of course you're gonna have him in your starting lineup, it is Messi. But then, the big question is, do you go for Correa, Gonzalez, Martinez, G- Gonzalo Correa, Alvarez, Aguero. There are so many options to decide from, but this might be harsh, but I will drop Aguero to put Lautaro Martinez, and of course, these two will have to fight for the spot, and then on that left wing spot, you have to have a natural winger. And maybe Angel Di Maria was announced as a midfielder, but I do think he will start in that attack, and that completes my front line three, and I think these three will cause problems. They will cause problems on the counter attack. And of course, you've got options off the bench like Sergio Aguero, like Angel Correa. You've got all of those options. And of course, if we do take a look at the lineup that I have just built, you have Emilio Martinez in goal, Lisandro Martinez alongside Pazilla, Montiel, Tagliafico, DePaul, Paredes Gomez, Messi, and Lautaro Martinez and Di Maria. And of course, Paredes and Messi both have goals in the World Cup qualifiers, so they are coming off goals. Messi with a penalty and Paredes from an open play goal. And of course, one thing I want to highlight is that right back spot for Argentina. That right back spot will play a huge part in Argentina's squad if Linus Scaloni does go with the 4-3-3 formation, because as we all know, Messi likes to go to the center. Messi will go behind Lautaro Martinez, as you can see, and then Montiel, he will have to go up to support that right attacking side, and will also have to come back to defend. So that right back spot, it is very, very key. The right back, whoever it is going to be, he needs to be at his best for Argentina. But of course, guys, you have the weakness in that team, and you can clearly see the weakness in that team. The midfield, it's more than amazing with so many options to rotate, and it goes the same for the attack, but then the defense is where the problem is for Argentina because they have been shaky in defense, and of course, guys, if Argentina can be solid at the back, I do rate their chances. I do think they can get this job done. I do think they can win the Copa America, but their defense, it is not solid enough to compete with the likes of Brazil, Uruguay, Chile, and I don't think it. And of course, you have to look at the competitors that Argentina will have. They will be Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, Peru, Uruguay, and Venezuela. And of course, the big competitors are Uruguay, Chile, Brazil, and of course, you do have some underdogs like Colombia, Paraguay, and Peru. We saw how unpredictable this trophy can be, and there are so many teams that can make that final. And of course, guys, we have to take a look at the groups. And Group A, there's Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, and Venezuela. And I do think Brazil were top that group. And of course, the higher you are, the better it is, so you don't face hard groups next time. And of course, I do think Venezuela will be out of Group A. And of course, we have to take a look at Group B because Argentina are in it. And of course, I do think this one, it will be tight at the top with Argentina, Uruguay, and Chile. And also, don't rule out Paraguay. I do think Bolivia will be out, but then I do think Argentina will top that group. And of course, only 4 teams can make it, and it is of course better to finish top of the table so you don't face teams that are harder to play against. Like if Argentina go third and Brazil are first, there's a bigger chance of Argentina facing a harder team. And of course, guys, these are both of the groups, and Brazil do have a very strong squad. You can see that their defense, it's more than amazing. Their midfield, more than amazing, and their attack, it is absolutely fire. And they will be very hard to stop. And I do think Brazil are the favorites heading to this. You can't say anything other than Brazil are the favorites. And of course, guys, the Copa America is always unpredictable. We saw it last year, we saw it that before. It is always unpredictable, but I will predict. But before predicting, we have to take something into consideration. The Argentina have failed in the big moments. You look at the World Cup final, you look at the Copa America finals, they have failed in the big moments to perform, to get that job done, to get that trophy home. And of course, I do think that Brazil and Argentina will battle it out, and of course, whichever team wants it more, whichever team has the quality to go through, it will be between Brazil and Argentina. Of course, you've got Uruguay, you've got Chile, but I do think these teams are not strong enough to go against Argentina and Brazil, so these two teams will battle it out, and I don't really know if they can win it in the end, but Argentina, they won this trophy, and they sure can win it. And of course, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. But if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next video.